Hello. Okay, in this little video, just getting you sorted. So in this video I'm going to talk about some things really that have cropped up, and people have often said, I love your laid back nature, you're very peaceful, you're very relaxed. And mostly I am, mostly, not always, mostly. So I suppose the how and the why, isn't it, as to why and what it brings to me. I tend not really to worry too much, you know. I have said before in videos that I think that the worrying that we do is often very unfounded and not necessary really. And what I mean by that is simply that it could be anything that happens that's not in the now, and I've spoken about that. Where I live is in the now. But we worry about things that once happened, or could possibly happen somewhere down the track in the future. And that's what I mean by unfounded really, because we don't know, and we build a scenario in our mind of what possibly could go on, what might happen, what the ramifications of that could be, and all the rest of it. And that's false, isn't it? It's a false way of thinking really, because it's not fact, it's not factual, it's not correct. It's surmising, it's thinking ahead to something that we've got no idea about. So I tend not really to do that. I do it to a degree, it's human nature, and I think we all do it, but I try not to do it. And what I do, if I catch myself thinking like that, I think, what am I doing? You know, where's this going to lead? What's the point? And there is no point. There's often no point. But by living in the now, that's not to say that I can't make plans or semi-plans, or have a goal or an aspiration, or I can't think ahead, or I can't think about a wedding that I'm going to in 5 years' time. Of course I can. You know, I can do all of that, but bring myself back to now and live in the now. And you can have all sorts in life. You can have a hospital appointment arranged. You could be very unwell. You could be going through a divorce. You know, I'm just saying these things really. You could have a lot going on in your life, but it's not really now, is it? If you're going through a divorce, you could say, well, that's now. It's not, it's around, isn't it? It's around now. But the actual now, the right now, is a different thing. So right now I'm sat on this seat. Right now I'm making this video. And that's all okay. Right now I'm wearing a t-shirt. You know, whatever. Right now you could be drinking a Slurpee. You could be looking out the window, looking at the moon, listening to a song, reading a book. That's the now. The peripheral around the now, the divorce, you're not dealing with that right now. You don't need to deal with that right now, or whatever it may be, the appointment or an interview or something, you know. So I would say bring yourself to the now. And that's where my peace comes from, my inner peace really. It's through meditation. I don't meditate enough sometimes. I used to always meditate 20 minutes per day. I did get into a stage where I was doing it twice a day, morning and evening, about 20 minutes in the morning, about 20 minutes in the evening, and I felt much better. I felt more calm, more relaxed, more at one, more at peace. But what I tend to do now, I meditate if and when I feel the need, really, you know, and it's probably 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 5 times a week. And that just tops me up. It tops my inner peace up. It tops my bliss up, to use a bright word. And that just makes me feel calm and peaceful and relaxed, really. So that's the comments that I get about the laid back, you know, you're very laid back. That's kind of where it stems from, really. It stems from meditation, but it stems from not worrying. If you worry about a situation, then what are you doing to that situation? As I say, you end up building a story that isn't factual. And to worry about the situation doesn't improve the situation. So if you've got a concern, you've got a hassle, that's fine, you can deal with that. But to worry about it as well, you end up having the concern, having the hassle, whatever it is, and then you've got the worry to think about as well. So you've added more layers onto whatever situation is happening. So I tend not really to worry, and I'm a great believer that it is as it is. Things are as they are. You know, what do I mean by that? I suppose it's just, things are as they are. Things are currently as they are, and to worry about them just adds more and more levels of worry and layers of stress, unfounded, unneeded, unwanted stress. So if things are as they are, then we can deal with them if and when they crop up by, I think, meditation, or by having some quiet time, some deep inner thoughts, some relaxed times. You don't have to meditate. You can lay on the sofa, listen to music, do that once a day, build it into your day. Read a book, read one page of a book every day for the rest of your life. Build it into your day. Every evening from 7 o'clock to 7:30, you pick up a book and read a page. And you find that your blood pressure lowers, your breathing lowers, your heart rate lowers. And what happens is you're not thinking then about this divorce, this appointment, this thing, this hassle, this concern, this worry. You're not thinking about that. So you've taken it away from yourself. Give your mind a holiday, really, in many respects, So we don't need to worry too much about anything, not really, because things are as they are, and invariably they do pan out, and they will pan out. But if we accept that just things are as they are, by building this inner peace, you can deal with just about anything that comes your way on a laid back, relaxed level. And I can think, if I get a concern come to me, I can think, okay, that's fine, I can deal with that. And I can, and I always can. Sometimes it's not very pleasant, sometimes I don't want it, sometimes it might cause me, I don't know, a bit of hassle or whatever. But I can think on an inner level, a level of peace, a level of bliss. And I think that's really important, I've said before that we take care of our physical self to a degree, but we don't take care of our spiritual self. And I think that's very, very important, because it's not your physical self that can take care of a concern or some hassle coming your way. It is your emotional self, and your emotional self actually is your spiritual self, isn't it, really, It's where your head is at. But by accepting that things just are as they are, life isn't perfect. There will be times of trouble. So how do we deal with them? We can build them up and build them up and build them up and keep worrying and thinking ahead what might happen in a year's time, a month's time, 5 minutes' time. We've no idea. So let that go, because that's not factual, as I said, So through my meditation, I feel quite calm, quite peaceful. And I empty my head in lots of ways. Empty my head in these videos, as we know, but I empty my head. When I meditate, I just feel washed clean. So therefore I think, well, the worries that I once had don't really come into it anymore. Not really overly concerned. So to be laid back, to be calm, simply brings that into you. The calmer you are, the calmer you are. So therefore your thoughts are calm. You can then think through this problem, trouble, hassle, whatever it might be. You can think through it on a much better level, much quieter level. And through meditation comes a stillness as well that runs through you, and I think I've got that. Well, actually I know I've got that, really. A quiet stillness. The world is a funny place. The world is, if we really look at it, is full of things that are not very pleasant, things that are difficult to deal with. And our own lives, therefore, are sometimes not very pleasant and sometimes full of difficult things. But by accepting this inner peace, by accepting this bliss, and by accepting this stillness, you'll find that you can deal with things much, much better. So if I'm going to give any advice, I would say meditate or have some quiet time, build it into your day every single day, and you will find that it's much, much easier to cope with whatever comes your way. And hopefully you'll be laid back, peaceful and chilled. And it is really the only way to be. It really is, you know. I don't like stress in my life, I don't like hassle in my life. So I deal with them on my terms, on a very quiet, peaceful, gentle way. And I just don't worry. I've got no need to worry. I hope that helps in some way, really. Anyway, we're doing well. Looking out the window at the mist. Take care.